किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी। ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रैंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रैंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the webinar of Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai presented by the management of Franchise India with an aim to introduce you with new business opportunity every day at 12 o'clock. With the same aim, today also we are going to represent a new business opportunity into F&B industry. But before I'll tell you about the brand, let me just run you through with the Q&A process. If you have any questions during the webinar, I would request you to please write your question into the Q&A box. We will take up all your questions post our presentation. So while we run you through with the presentation and we give you brand details, I would request you to keep sharing your questions into the Q&A box. We see some of you raising your hands during the webinar. I would request you not to raise your hand or write your question into the Q&A box so that we can understand your query and we'll answer you accordingly. Our today's brand is Dr. Bubble. They are India's largest bubble tea brand. They make flavored green bubble teas and milk teas. So we all know what bubble tea is. It is not something which started in India, but yes, from outer market, from global market, we have got this concept. And everyone who has tried it loved it. We do have Mr. Prabhakar and Ms. Gomati, co-founders of Dr. Bubbles, with us on this panel today. Along with, we do have Yogita Divakar and Mr. Shaktivel, who's leading this brand into Indian market for franchisee development. I would like to welcome all my panelists here on this panel today, and would like to request Mr. Prabhakar and Ms. Gomati to brief us more about the brand and business opportunity they have to offer to our investors in Indian market. Over to you, ma'am and sir.
Thank you, Neha. Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody here. Very happy New Year to start with. My name is Gomati, as Ms. Neha mentioned. I'm the CEO of Dr. Bubbles brand. I'm joined here by Mr. Prabhakar, the CFO of the brand, and together we hope to give you an oversight of what the brand is all about. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedules to join this presentation today. I promise you that it will be totally worth it, and you're about to join one of the largest revolutions in the history of beverages. Yeah, so let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see the screen. Okay, so we're going to talk about Dr. Bubbles today. This is the brand presentation. So on the first slide, a little bit about Dr. Bubbles. In fact, I want to talk a little bit about bubble tea itself. What is bubble tea? Bubble tea originated in Taiwan. It originated sometime in 1940. A little experimentation was carried out. People tried to mix tea bases like black teas, red teas, white teas. They shook it with ice and they poured it over some very interesting toppings. One of the toppings that is very famous across the world is something called tapioca pearls. It's a black, chewy kind of pearl. I don't know if you guys have, you probably heard of sabudana. So it is something like that. It's black, chewy, it's sweet. Then they developed other kind of toppings for the drink. One is called the popping boba, which is fruit-filled bobas that actually burst in the mouth. And then they came up with the flavored jellies that were added to the drink. So technically, when you take a sip of the drink through a nice plump straw, you're taking a little bit of the topping along with the drink. So, and these bubbles that burst in the mouth, or these tapioca pearls that cause this chewy sensation, make it very exciting. It's like a snack and a drink in one. So it started off in Taiwan, it slowly expanded to the rest of Southeast Asia. And from Southeast Asia, it sort of made its headway into the sort of the Western world, the US and the UK markets, through Chinatowns of these countries. And it actually became a rage. So for those of you who have traveled abroad, I'm sure you had the chance to taste bubble teas pretty much everywhere, right? So the young and the old alike quite enjoy this drink. It's a fun drink. It's actually quite an experience in itself. And for some of the people that have actually tasted this drink, they are addicted to it. So there are avid bubble tea drinkers that actually travel and seek out good bubble tea shops. So that's a little bit about the product itself. So obviously it's made with a base of tea, so it is enriched with antioxidants. So it's a fairly healthy drink, I would say, and it is quite an experience. In the Indian market, Dr. Bubbles were really the pioneers in introducing the bubble tea product itself to the Indian market sometime in 2015. And we did quite a bit of work on the product itself. So if you take a very authentic Taiwanese tea and present it to the Indian market, it is not something that the Indian market would immediately take to. You agree that we have our own very specific preferences and taste. So we worked on the product a little bit, made it, customized a bit to suit the Indian palate, as you would say. And then we introduced a range of other beverages using the bubble tea concept, like bubble shakes and bubble coffees. So the concept is really the same. It's shaken tea with ice, with fruit flavorings, which are the fruit-based bubble teas. And then you have the classic milk-based bubble teas. And when we say milk, typically it is non-dairy. So from that aspect, we do have, talk about the health benefits of having a non-dairy for people who seek out non-dairy products. Classic milk teas, as the name suggests, is classic. So you have flavors like Hong Kong, you have flavors like taro, you have flavors like matcha, and so on and so forth. So you have the fruit-based bubble teas, and then you have the milk-based teas and the shakes. And all of these drinks come with these toppings that you can consume through the straw as you take the drink. Yeah. So apologies for my throat. I think I caught a little bit of a bug last night. So if I'm going too fast or if you're not able to catch me, please feel free to stop. I don't mind repeating what I say. So again, this is a bit of a graphical representation on what I just explained. You have the bubble tea bottle in the center. As you can see, it's a very signature bottle. Dr. Bubbles has introduced the bulb-shaped bottles in the Indian market, and we are very famous and popular for our bottles. These are recyclable bottles. These bottles are quite sturdy. In fact, I have a lot of clients who fill these bottles with tur dal, urad dal, rai and things like that, and they send us pictures on Instagram. It's a very sturdy bottle. It's very pretty. We have kids and adults alike that come and seek out this bottle. So we I think revolutionized a bit in terms of how the drink itself is being served. It's a very convenient bottle. It's got a loop on the top, so you can actually hold it with a finger and you can walk around, right? So this is really the classic representation of the Dr. Bubbles bubble tea in the Indian market. So as you see here, there are fun bubble toppings that you can add to the drink. You have cold and hot options. So in Taiwan, typically they started off with cold beverages, iced teas over fruity flavorings, but they also experimented with hot. So you do have hot variations of the product today. You have the hot matcha bubble tea, you have the hot taro bubble tea, hot Hong Kong bubble tea, and so on and so forth. And the tea base is really, there's a whole lot of teas that have come to the market today. You have red tea, you have white tea, you have oolong tea. So typically we primarily use the green tea, red tea, and black tea bases for our products. It can be either a fruity or a milky beverage, and you use a plump straw to slurp it. Of course, there's a lot of shaking involved. So interestingly, there is a misconception that the bubble tea is so named because of the bubble toppings in the drink. But actually, if I share a little secret with you, the name bubble tea comes from the fact that there is a lot of foam or bubbles that forms on top of the drink when you shake it, right? So a lot of boba tea stores that you see abroad, they have specialist machines that shake it so that you create a lot of foam on top of the drink. And originally, the name bubble tea came because of those bubbles of foam on top of the drink. So this is a little tidbit that I'm sharing with you. But for the common market, generally bubble tea, they associate with bubble toppings, which are the three types of toppings that I spoke to you about: the classic boba, the popping boba, or the bursting bubbles, and the fruity jellies. So the origin of bubble tea, a little bit on the right, originated in Taiwan, 1990s, moved to Singapore, China, Japan, Korea, late 1990s, moved to United States, and via the Chinatowns, and early 2000s, it hit the United Kingdom and the European markets again via the Chinatowns. Yeah. So since you're all here, investors looking for opportunities for investment that would help you with the good returns, a little bit of a picture on what is the bubble tea market looking like worldwide. In 2022, North America alone accounted for 36% of the overall market share. So as you can see, there's quite a big chunk of the global market that North America holds today. And primarily, the demand for fruit teas in North America is what drives this chunk of market share for them. In terms of growth, the Asia Pacific region is expected to register a very fast pace of growth from 2023 to 2029. So I would say you're all at the right place at the right time, evaluating the right opportunity that will give you the best buck for your money. And Asia, specifically India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, these markets are expected to explode when it comes to bubble tea. And overall, globally, the projected growth is at $4.2 billion by 2027. So from very reliable sources. So you can imagine at a CAGR of 8.3%, this bubble tea as a product, as a concept, presents probably the most exciting opportunity in foods and beverages for people who are looking to jump on the bubble tea bandwagon, as I would say. A little snapshot of some of the major international players. You, of course, have Gongcha, based in UK. They are present in over 10 countries today, over 100 stores. Tiger Sugar in Taiwan, they came up with a very interesting concept. They call their boba Tiger Boba. So they use brown sugar syrup and create sort of stripes in the sides of the bottle, so it looks like tiger stripes. And they have a patented concept that comes to boba. They call it the Tiger Boba. You have Happy Lemon from Taiwan, again, in 21 countries and 2,000 locations worldwide. You have Cha Time, again, a Taiwanese company. So a lot of Taiwanese companies have made inroads globally when it comes to bubble tea. Again, there are also a lot of homegrown brands from the USA, like Lollicup and Kung Fu Tea. Kung Fu Tea, for instance, takes the boba tea concept. So today, boba tea, if you look at the US and in other places, it's more like a functional drink, just like how we would have our, masala chai, or like you would have your filter coffee in the South. The boba tea, typically the way it is positioned worldwide, outside of India at least, is more like a functional drink. You have like a chai wala, you have boba chai wala. You go pick up a boba and then walk to work, right? So that is sort of the positioning. But some brands like Kung Fu Tea, they took this concept and they have positioned premium boba tea outlets. That is really their core concept. So they are trying to make their boba tea the Starbucks of bubble tea, for instance, right? Likewise, you have a lot of local customizations and flavors. For instance, in Malaysia, they have their kopi, a bit coffee-based taste. That's a local customized bubble tea. They call it kopi C. And then some companies like Bubbler in New York have come up with like a ready-to-drink boba tea product, which is pre-packaged and sold in the stores, the supermarkets. So as you can see, there are a lot of major international players In India, the market is very wide. It's pretty untapped. It's a very nascent market. We are at the stage where we are trying to promote product awareness over anything else, because bubble tea as a product itself is in its very nascent stages, and the revolution, I believe, has just begun. Which is why I always say competition is good. The more players we have in the market, the better, because that is when the public as a whole understands bubble tea and accepts bubble tea as a concept going forward, right? So moving on to the next slide. Coming a little bit about to the brand's footprint in India. Like I said, the brand was established in 2015. This is our 8th year of operations. I'm quite happy to say that pre-COVID, we had a very aggressive expansion. We expanded to over 45 plus stores in many cities. And just when we finished a wave of expansion, unfortunately, COVID hit us. And as you're all aware, a lot of businesses, especially food and beverages, took a major hit during COVID. Post-COVID, again, definitely the hospitality industry as a whole and foods and beverages specifically is picking up. We do see now in the last year or so, a lot more people coming out who want to dine out, who want to try new things. So the wave is again picking up. At this point in time, we are headquartered in Chennai. The brand is owned by Better Life Chennai. We are at about 12 stores currently, and we are starting on, you would say, a second wave of expansion. Again, we are looking at a pan-India expansion. In terms of products, I would like to, I'm very proud in saying that we don't have just the bubble teas, but we have managed to create a very exciting and a very interesting menu, which includes beverages and a very interesting range of unique desserts as well. So we have something called the bubble waffle. Again, bubble waffle, for those who have been to Hong Kong, you probably have tried the big round bubbly waffle. It's a Hong Kong style waffle. Typically it's made with egg, but we are 100% vegetarian brand. So we recreated the bubble waffle in an eggless format. And this big bubble waffle is actually rolled into a cup, and then you put ice cream and you put a whole lot of toppings on top of it with waffle sticks and things like that. That makes it a very regal, a very interesting looking dessert. And I have people that come from different cities into Chennai, for instance, to try the bubble waffle. It's a very exciting waffle. We then also have American waffles. I'm sure you've all tasted the Belgian waffle, which is, I would like to say, a thinner counterpart of the American waffle. So our waffles are thicker, they're fluffier. So I'd like to say you get more waffle per waffle. And they're very crispy on the outside and soft inside. So it's a very interesting waffle. People who have tried American waffles generally do not go back to Belgian waffles. Then we also have something called baby pancakes. Baby pancakes are bite-sized, dollar-sized mini pancakes that you take out of a baby pancake machine. You layer it on a waffle tray, and then you layer a whole lot of toppings on top of it. You can put a scoop of ice cream, and it comes in a range of flavors like Belgian chocolate, strawberry and cream, blueberry and cream, and so on and so forth. So we have a very unique and a very innovative range of products on the menu that I'm sure your customers in whatever geographies you're looking at will be very excited to try. And it's something unique. It's something that they wouldn't have tasted before. So our menu as such is very exciting, I would like to say. A little bit about the buyer persona. Who is really the market for this product and this menu? So if you look at my slide, you can see that it ranges from 6 years of age or 5 years of age all the way to 30 plus. So it is not something that is very specific to a certain buyer persona. You have, the young people today who are on, Instagram and Snapchat and all kinds of social media. And they're so aware of what are the things that are available globally. And they're keen and very excited to try those kind of things when we bring them to the Indian market. So they also have an impulse buying nature. So they have the high disposable incomes. So So you have a market there. You have the teens, you have the 20-somethings, again, employed individuals looking for new experiences, looking for places to hang out, and again, a very high usage of social media. And then you have a certain bit of the niche crowd, which I call the well-traveled crowd, the crowd that has been abroad, has tasted bubble tea, and are addicted to bubble tea, who come and seek out bubble tea. Of course, they have higher disposable incomes, and these people are typically the people who are not looking for an experience along with the bubble tea, but for them it's very functional. Like, I need my bubble tea fix today. Like, I need my masala chai fix. So that's sort of the niche market. So as you can see on this slide, there is a whole range of demographic and the market segments that today typically seeks the bubble tea product. I talked about this a little bit. We opened in 2015. We started off with 3 stores in Mumbai. From 2015 to 2019, pre-COVID, we grew to about 45 plus stores. We had footprint in Gujarat, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Gurgaon, UP, Bihar, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai. Post-COVID, unfortunately, we shut down. We had to shut down a lot of stores during COVID. So we took a little bit of a hit there. Better Life Chennai is a company in Chennai that took the first franchise in October of 2020 from Mumbai. We opened our first store in Nungambakam in Jan 2021, which was a resounding success, both in the way that we presented the products and the way we operated our stores, catering to customer satisfaction in the market. We opened the second store as a result of that success in Anna Nagar in July 2021, which again was a resounding success and doing very well today. We opened the third store as a result of which in Adyar in May 2022. We let out a franchise in September 2022 in SRM. And eventually, early part of this year, we bought out the brand. The brand was fully acquired by Better Life Chennai LLP. Today, I believe that as a company, we have established the foundation for expansion and scalability. We have the systems, we have the procedures, we have the framework, we have the policies, we have the guidelines. We are very heavily enabled by technology. We have made a lot of investment into technology because, again, without technology, it is very difficult to scale and support a large customer base. We have invested very heavily in marketing. So I have people from very distant geographies who have heard of bubble tea through the Instagram, Dr. Bubbles Chennai, and they come and visit us to try our products. So we have very actively engaged with influencers. We are very actively engaged in digital marketing. So today, I believe we've probably never been in a position as we are today in terms of our readiness for expansion and to better support our franchisees and investors better than what we have ever done before. So that's a little bit about the history of the brand. Moving on to the menu. I talked about it quite a bit already, but again, just to give you a comprehensive overview, we have bubble teas, which come in 2 variants, the juice-based and the classic milk teas like Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a black tea-based drink. So if you are a black tea drinker or a chai drinker, you would really like the taste of Hong Kong. Matcha, again, is something you would have heard of. It's made out of young green tea leaves. So we have the matcha classic milk teas. Vietnam taro, it's a purple milk tea. It's made from the root or a tuber called taro. And that has a very unique nutty taste, which again caters to a specific palate. A lot of people come seeking taro. So in addition to the milk teas and the fruity teas, we also have the bubble shakes, which is, again, we cannot do without shakes. The Indian market loves shakes, as we all know. But the way we position our shakes is they are, very tasty on the palate, but very light on the stomach because they're non-dairy. You have the option to add an ice cream if you want to make it thicker. But what I have seen is a lot of people come and seek out our shakes because they're really enjoyable, they're light, and they don't give you that sick feeling after you consume a shake. So we're very famous for that. Again, we have some hot beverages on the menu, which are the equivalent of the classic milk teas in the hot format. We have savories. Our savory, a classic savory that we have is the potato savory waffle, which is a waffle again made with sliced potatoes and lots of cheese. We know that the Indian market loves cheese, so we have a lot of cheese in there, a lot of toppings like chilies, jalapenos. So we have a spicy, non-spicy version of the savories. Of course, the American waffle, I spoke to you about it. On the dessert side, we have the bubble waffle, the baby pancake, and we also offer ice cream sundaes because a lot of people like to have ice cream sundaes. There are ice cream sundaes. We serve them in something called waffle nacho cone. So it's again a variant of the waffle which is stuck into a sundae and which makes the sundae a lot more interesting to have. So that's a bit of an overview on our menu. Again, we are very proud to say that we have maintained exemplary feedback and ratings on pretty much all the systems. So we do offer the dine-in format. We offer the delivery format through Zomato and Swiggy and Dunzo, and we have managed to maintain some very good ratings. We have managed some very good feedback from our customers, and the satisfaction is probably never been as high as this before. This is a bit of an overview of the market positioning. Yes, we do acknowledge that there are a few other players in the market, but I believe we are very uniquely positioned from a price and a rating perspective. We are also very uniquely positioned from where we are ready to propel ourselves in terms of growth. And this chart here on the left talks about only the last 3 years, which is really the new avatar of Dr. Bubbles, I would say. And we're already at 6 stores, and we're looking at definitely a larger rate of expansion this year. In terms of price point on the right, we are priced very well. We have maintained a very good rating. And again, when it comes to competition, I said this before, we welcome competition. But what makes us unique is not just a unique and customized menu, but it's the entire system. It's the way we run our business. It's the way we maintain customer satisfaction. It's the way we maintain consistency in our products. So if you went to one Dr. Bubbles store to another Dr. Bubbles store, you will not find a variation in the taste. Every bubble waffle is made the same way. Every bubble shake or every bubble tea is made the same way. So there is a very high level of consistency that we manage, and it's not by chance. We manage it very actively through our recipes, through our training programs, through our refresher training programs, and so on and so forth. And we are very heavily engaged with the customer as well. So I believe we have a tremendous amount of competitive advantage in this market, and I do welcome competition. Just to give you a snapshot of how our interiors look like. These are some of our stores in K&K, in Ananagar. So the palette is very pastel. It reflects the colors of the logo. We have pinks, we have yellows, we have light blues. We have tried to make the interiors a very cozy and chic, but cozy and very warm at the same time. Bubble tea as such is a very new product, so you wouldn't want to intimidate people on top of that with too fancy interiors, and you want to appear welcoming, you want to appear warm, you want to appear cozy. So that's sort of the interiors that we shot for, and I think we have done very well in the interior session. Our kitchen is completely open, so customers can actually see their products being made in the kitchen. We establish very high levels of sanitation and hygiene in the kitchen. Our staff are trained through very rigorous training videos, training programs, audits and compliance to make sure that at all points in time, our kitchens are clean, very neat, they are well maintained, and there is nothing to hide in the kitchen. So the reason our kitchens are all open is we welcome customers to look into our kitchen and see how well we maintain our kitchen standards and our hygiene standards. So why franchise with us? I will go through this in 4 different sections. So I have a product to start with. We have, I think, a great menu. Most importantly, we have a simplified menu. We always aim to keep under 10 product categories. Reason being that makes it easier for the customer to pick. We keep only mainly the really fast moving and popular products on the menu. And you want people to at least order within 2 or 3 minutes and move on to the next customer. We are a QSR format. We are not a fine dining format where we have people sitting in the store for 2-3 hours and enjoying a longish meal. They want to come, they want to place their order. We want to maximize our seating capacity. We want to maximize our product delivery capacity. So the menu engineering is very, very critical to that. And I believe we have a very well engineered menu to suit this segment. Customized products. We have introduced, things like Kit Kat bubble tea and Oreo bubble tea, which is, to attract the young customers here. And we've made our potato waffles cheesy and spicy, and there's a lot of options that suit the Indian palate. We offer an exclusive range and a very exciting range of flavors. We have over 20 flavors of bobas and jellies. And we make sure that we are well stocked at all times. For me, it's very important that if there's something that's put out on the menu, there is at no point in time you tell the customer, sorry, sir, it's not available. Because if it's on the menu, we need to have it stocked. I will come to it in a bit, but we have a very tight supply chain and logistics network that makes sure procurement, logistics, and supply chain network. So we make sure that we never run out of the flavors that we promise to our customers. So that is one of the things that we focus on very crucially. Perfectly complementing snacks and desserts. So I spoke to you about how our menu is well balanced. Coming to the last point, in the lowest average product cost. So obviously you have, products that are high margin, you have products that are medium margin, you have some products that are very popular among customers, but they do not drive margins very heavily. So it's very important that the menu is engineered such that the overall average product cost, we are able to achieve the lowest average product cost. And I believe we've done that very well. Our menu is never cluttered. We do launch seasonals based on what is available seasonally. So every quarter we do introduce some seasonal items on the menu which are available on a limited basis to keep the menu exciting. At the same time, we are very, very clear to steer clear of things that are very easily available in the market. Like we don't clutter our menu with, momos or samosas and things like that. We maintain a certain average pricing on the menu, and we want to maintain that standard. And our menu is always aligned with the core concept offering. Like I said, we don't clutter it with a large number of items that are not sticking to the core concept. So on the product side, we do offer a lot of reasons for you to pick the Dr. Bubbles menu and the Dr. Bubbles business to go along with. The marketing support, we have invested very heavily in marketing. We do recognize the young customer is on Instagram today very heavily. So we do run focused Instagram campaigns, and we have created a very high level of product awareness in the core buyer persona, which is the age 12 to the age 30 range. We also are very technologically driven when it comes to marketing. We run very structured, very ROI driven WhatsApp and influencer marketing campaigns. Once the customer steps into our store, we try to maximize the lifetime value from that customer by keeping engaged with the customer, by sending them product updates, sending them promotions. And again, these are all programs that the customer opts in. There is always an option to opt out. And we use technology very heavily to do these programs and retain our customer and improve our repeat customer base. Sweet spot pricing and positioning. Like I said, we don't sell momos, we don't sell chai, we don't sell samosas. We have a certain pricing that we maintain on the menu, an average pricing, which we called mid-premium pricing, and which is driven through all the aspects of not just the menu, but also our ambience. So people feel comfortable, people feel like they're getting value for their money when they step into our store. People don't feel disappointed when they have to shell out like a 160 or 180 bucks for a drink. They feel that experience is also worth it. So that is a lot of things that we have done around marketing and marketing support, which should make it a very compelling case for you to consider our brand. Operational support. So we are we take pride in the fact that we have 100% digital operations that are set up today. When I say digital operations, you take a store, there are so many things that go behind the operations of a store. You have an opening procedure, you have a closing procedure, you have operational checklists. How do you replenish your inventory? What frequency do you replenish your inventory, for instance? How do you manage your staff schedules? How do you manage your staff holidays, so on and so forth. So a lot of things go into operationally running a store. And we believe that the best way to do that is to go digital. So all our stores, our staff are equipped with a tablet in the store. So they get the store ready, they go into the tablet, they open the tablet, they pick their opening checklist, and they mark off all the items of the checklist to make sure that we are 100% ready to receive the customer and nothing is dropped off the radar, because we don't depend on that one person or one named person that comes into the store to remember that all these things need to be activated in the store for us to be ready. Everything is digital. So he's got checklists, he looks at them, he understands what's missing. And there are automatic escalations that go from there to the manager to let him know, oh, there is no locally available banana, for instance, today. So the ops manager gets a notification saying that, okay, bananas have to be replenished. So these kind of things we have built in to make your management of the store so much easier than normally it would be. Our audits and compliance monitoring and control are 100% online. So we have audits around product quality, we have audits around hygiene, we have audits around ambience. Is music playing in the store? Are approved music playlists being used in the store by our staff? Are the staff sanitizing their hands every time they enter the kitchen? Is everybody wearing, the hairnet, for instance? Is there any rodent or pest infestation that has been noticed? So we have auditors that go in once. We have fortnightly audits, we have quarterly audits, and everything is online. So we have them going in, marking off the store on different aspects and rating them. And all these audit results then get escalated to senior management in order to take critical action based on the feedback. So what effectively we have done is we have deployed very efficient systems, processes, and procedures that will enable you as an investor, as a franchisee, for a faster payback, because we are constantly focused on cost optimization while delivering the maximum customer satisfaction for the customer. In terms of systems, the POS system, the inventory system, sales system, reporting systems are all fully integrated and fully digital. On the procurement and inventory support side, we make sure that most of our key ingredients like tapioca pearls, popping bobas, and jellies are imported. We do not compromise in the quality. While we do want to support local manufacturers, we do recognize and believe that at this point in time, the manufacture of tapioca pearls and popping bobas and jellies locally does not meet the mark of international standards. When it happens, we will definitely look into that. We supply only the best quality equipment, tea brewers, water purifiers, ice cube machines, so on and so forth. We work tirelessly on the sourcing side to bring down the cost of equipment and raw materials so that you are able to deliver and achieve the profit that you anticipate from this business. We also assist in working capital management. We also assist you in understanding what is the minimum stock on hand, because inventory is cash at the end of the day, and you don't want to be tying up your inventory on the shelf when that money could be made to work better for you. So we have a lot of statistics, a lot of data, whereby we assist you in understanding how much inventory you need to hold at any point in time, and hence assist you in your working capital management so that you are able to take your cash out of the business. Human resources, we believe people are critical. Our staff is critical in delivering a successful business. Our recruitment processes are very stringent. We have a very formalized onboarding process. Again, a lot of it is online. It's a combination of online as well as on-the-job training. We have a very well-structured training and development program that we roll out on a very structured basis for every new store that comes online. And training on continuous engagement. So we keep our staff engaged. We have our in-house communication systems, like a chat system that is specifically deployed for Dr. Bubbles, where our staff can communicate, exchange messages, schedule meetings and so on and so forth. So when it comes to human resources, we are, I think, at the very, at cutting edge, and this helps us deliver the customer satisfaction that we promise from ourselves. So to summarize a bit, when you invest in Dr. Bubbles, what you're investing in is a long-term vision. It's not a short-term gig. It is backed by nothing but a systems approach, and this systems approach is focused on creating long-term value for everyone within the system. Value not just for our partners, but value for employees, value for our customers. And for partners, partner profits are put at the forefront of our business. So whatever we do at the end of the day translates into better profits and better return for our investors, and delivers outstanding unit economics per store. We have a very, on the management team, we have over 50 years of combined international corporate experience across business management, finance, operations, procurement, supply chain, backing the brand at Better Life Chennai. So as you can see in several things that we discussed, it's a very corporate structure that we have put in. The foundations are very corporate, foundations are very solid, and we don't run it like a mom and pop store, right? So when you are investing in the Dr. Bubbles brand, you're assured of deriving the benefits of that corporate structure, deriving the benefits of the systems and processes, procedures, policies and guidelines that we have put in to enable you to be successful at your stores. I will also go through a little bit the commercials here for, I'm sure a lot of people are waiting to understand what does it take for me to run a Dr. Bubbles store. So there are two formats that we offer in terms of area. You have the 200 to 250 square feet, which is typically a takeaway model where you're associated with, let's say, a food court or a food park. And then your dine-in model, which is a 400 to 500. So these are the two sizes that we believe are optimal in terms of our experience for deriving maximum profit from the store. So in a 400, 500 square feet outlet, typically you can have 20 to 25 seats. So a big breakup of the investment. So it's about 10 lakhs in setup cost for the kiosk format. We call it the kiosk format, and then 17 lakhs for the dine-in format. So the setup typically includes your interiors, your signage, your furniture, your ACs, and most importantly, all your kitchen equipment, your tea brewers, your ice cube machines, your blenders, your topping spreads, and so on and so forth. So that really everything goes basically into the capex of the store, right? And then we recommend a 2 lakh of startup inventory, which will allow you to gauge the sales when you start. A 2 lakh of inventory is what we believe is good to start off your business. So in 2 to 3 weeks, it will help you understand what the turnaround is, what kind of customers you're getting, what kind of sales you're generating in that specific location. There is a franchise fee of 6 lakhs. And there is a projected sales that we have given. There is a royalty. Royalty is at 8% for both the kiosk and the dine-in model. From the kiosk model, we believe the payback will be anywhere between 12 to 13 months. So a little over a year, you should be able to receive your payback. And in the 400, 500 square feet, anywhere between 16 to 18 months. Again, these are real numbers. These are numbers that are based on our experience. These are numbers based on the fact that you will be able to leverage from the cost optimization and the efficiencies that we have achieved today, that we will transition to you, train you, and enable you to run your businesses at its most optimized form. And we believe these numbers are representative of our experience, a very good level of experience in running the brand for over 8 years today in the Indian market. Again, we are inviting, again, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 need not be sequential. It is just a way to demarcate the geographies. Definitely, we have a very high level of interest in the southern region, also in the western region and the northern region. So these are some of the cities that we have listed out. It doesn't mean to say that if you have an interest in a city outside of the cities that are listed here, we are not interested. Definitely, it's a conversation to be had to understand, the market in that specific geography to see whether it makes sense. We never want to put our investors in a point where, you're not able to take your profits or returns out. So we evaluate very carefully with you. We actually provide assistance in terms of even finding locations where the first thing you do when you sign an LOI is we give you a location checklist. So this is all our experience of identifying locations condensed into a 3-page document, which tells you, what you should look for in a location, what you should look for in a site, what you should avoid, how you should negotiate with your landlord, what is it you need to consider in terms of electricity, in terms of water, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we are very excited to have queries from as many cities out there as possible, so we can have the conversation and assess feasibility for that particular city. Ideal partner profile, yes. You've heard me talk about our systems approach. We are looking at new investors who are keen to enter food services industry. Definitely a previous experience in the food and beverage industry is more welcome. A partner that has knowledge of running daily business operations. We invite, in fact, multi-unit store interests in different cities, where you're interested in running more than one unit in a store, and we can help you develop economies and scale there very well. If you have the ability to capture a very good location at a competitive price, definitely we welcome that. And if you have some experience and knowledge of QSR format, we welcome that as well. Again, that being said, if you have no knowledge of QSR and no knowledge of food and beverages, we don't say no. We are equipped to help you. What we need is people who are committed to the concept, people who are able to put in the level of hard work. Again, any business, unless you put in the level of hard work, unless you put in some level of hands-on management, is not going to be a success. So I don't, I have people who just think you put the money or throw the money into a business and it's going to generate profits by itself. That doesn't happen. So we're looking at people who have the right attitude to partner and take this concept to newer heights. And if that's the case, a previous F&B, experience is not required. We will help you, but what we require is the right attitude and the financial ability to withstand multiple cycles. Food industry is very cyclical. There will be a rainy season, there is a sunny season. India, you have all seasons. So the kind of sales that you see is going to vary season by season, month by month. So we need people who have the ability to withstand those cycles and still commit to the concept. And definitely we guarantee success in that case. Yeah, so that's the ideal partner profile. Again, I have, I won't reiterate this. I've talked about this very heavily. What are the reasons to partner with us? A little bit about the support. Anybody that commits, we offer committed support end to end, whether it be training, whether it be location selection, whether it comes to design. So these are all the areas, a little bit here, split a bit in terms of the key responsibility. But that being said, we support you end to end, right from the get-go in the time that your store is established and running successfully. Just summarizing a bit, this is me. So I have over 20 years of international business leadership experience. I'm an engineer from BITS Pilani originally. I have an MBA from XLRI Jamshedpur. I have run businesses over $50 million across the globe. I've traveled quite a bit. I've been in Middle East, I've been in USA, I've been in Africa, I've been in India. I'm also a certified program manager. Mr. Prabhakar, who is our CFO, who's also joined the call. He's literally the financial maestro, as we call him. He has more than 25 years of global experience. He's a chartered accountant and a CPA. And right from international finance, taxation, contract management, supply chain. So he's been very, very critical in all these fantastic things that we have done with the brand when it comes to procurement, when it comes to sourcing, when it comes to logistics, when it comes to overall reducing the cost of operations. And with that, I come to the end of my presentation. I hope I haven't overshot the time. Thank you so much for your interest. And Neha, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gomti. Thanks a lot for a wonderful brief. I think we've covered almost everything one should know about the brand. And now I would like Mr. Prabhakar, he wants to add on anything before we take up the question.
No, you can go on. I think she covered everything very well, right? So
Perfect. So we do have the leaders here on the call. So I would want Yogita to start with taking up the questions from Q&A box.
Thank you, Ms. Gomti. Such a good explanation about the brand. So I would like to take the questions. So Ms. Rekha wants to know, are you open for Kerala?
We are absolutely open for Kerala. Kerala is right next to Tamil Nadu, and it is definitely a market of very high interest for us. So please do reach out and connect with us, and we can take it forward.
And she wants to know what is the average ticket size?
I put it on a slide for a kiosk format. It's about 17 lakhs in terms of setup and a 6 lakh franchise fee. If you're looking at a larger format, which is a 500 square feet, that's about 25 lakhs with a 6 lakh franchise.
Ma'am,
I would like to intervene. Yeah, I would like to intervene when they're asking about the ticket size. They want to understand the product price range.
Product price. Sorry, I'm so sorry. So, if you take a bubble tea, it ranges from 180 to 250. Okay, the starting price of a bubble tea is 180. Bubble shakes is a little bit higher. We have, Nutella shakes and Kit Kat shakes that obviously go higher in price. So the beverage starting price is 180. We have snacks and desserts starting at 130 rupees. So the minimum ticket size is 130. It goes up to 250 rupees for a bubble waffle.
Okay. Mr. Balaji wants to know, how do you take care of the supply chain of the franchisee to the franchisee, and what is the tag for supplies?
What is the?
What is the tag time for supplies?
So I will let Mr. Prabhakar handle that question. Yeah.
yeah, so there are what we've done is we've categorized into basically four the different items that you need to have on the shelf. And there are some items that we actually procure internationally. I have a supplier who does it for me. So those would be supplied directly from the franchise, from us, from the brand. Yeah. So we will stock, and then as and when you require, it requires a little bit of planning, and those are the more expensive items, and that we will supply to you directly, and as well as the branded items, the cups and the bottles, the bulk bottles that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the other items which are generically available, I will help you source it locally. It's all fairly small items, but I have a full comprehensive list. And if you can't get it locally, I will be able to supply everything from Chennai. Yeah, so that's how we do it. I would recommend a replenishment cycle of at least once every month, based on your sales and your forecast and what you see is happening. Obviously, rainy season you will procure less, but if it's coming up to summer or festive season, holidays, then you will start buying more.
Thank you so much, Prabhakar sir. So there's one more question. Mr. Pravin is asking, are we looking for a master franchisee as well?
So today we are not getting into a master franchise sort of relationship. We strongly believe that where we are in our stage of development as a brand, we would directly like to be involved with the franchise development in terms of their training, in terms of their hand-holding. Maybe at some stage, maybe a year or 2 years later, but today we are welcoming multi-unit partners. So rather than a master franchise, if you have the ability to take a region to open, let's say 5 stores, 6 stores, 7 stores, we have a model where we discount the franchise fee when you commit to multi-units. So that's what we are looking at. We welcome multi-unit partners, but no master franchises at them.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the answer. And the last question which we have is, what is the best selling product and flavors of that?
So I'd like to say everything on my menu is best selling. But if you take the bubble teas, lychee watermelon is very exciting. People love lychee watermelon, and the young kids love the strawberry and the blueberries. Berries somehow India is obsessed with berries, so you have the berry flavors that sell very well. In the classic teas, the Hong Kong tea, and the Thai, because Thai is a little bit on the sweeter side. I think people love Thai milk tea. Bubble shakes, yes, the berries sell well, the kiwi shakes sell well. In terms of desserts, the bubble waffle and the American waffle and baby pancakes are our stars, actually. So all the 3 desserts do very well.
I think what sells depends on the mood of the person who walks in, right? But all the products are very attractive, very tasty. And yeah, people do have some favorites, but of the 18 flavors we offer in bubble teas, lychee, watermelon, and blueberry rank at the top. Yeah. So,
Thank you so much, Gomti ma'am, and Prabhakar sir. It was such a lovely explanation. So over to you, Neha.
Thank you. I would want Mr. Shakti and Mr. Rupesh to take up some questions.
Hi, Gomti, Rupesh this side from Mumbai team. So I have a question. So how many stores are there in Mumbai and the north part of India so far?
Today, as a
Uh,
part of the transition, we have actually given back those stores to the franchisor. So Dr. Bubbles as a brand does not exist in Mumbai today. So that is definitely a market we'd like to go aggressively after. In the north, again, there used to be a lot of stores pre-corona, but today we have Itanagar, we have Mizoram, pretty much in the northeast. We don't have anything in Delhi today. Yeah, the north is pretty open. Yeah.
And the second question is, what is the per person cost? Means if somebody is coming to the store, so how the billing cost would be average?
So the average bill value is anywhere between 350 to 400 rupees as we see it across most of our stores. I mean, 350 to 400 is what they end up spending. You add a drink and a snack on an average, it comes to that.
And what is the average walk-ins in a week or in a day?
So on a very busy day, if it's a weekend or if it's a festival or extremely busy, we do anywhere between 110 to 120 orders. On some of the weekdays like Mondays or Tuesdays, we do anywhere between 40 to 60 orders. So that's sort of the number of orders that we have.
and then I think that's also put in perspective in time. We are actually open from 12 noon to 11
p.m. Yes,
Yeah,
we
so
don't
we
open
work-
the full day.
We don't open the full day because in most places there are restrictions to operate late at night. So if those restrictions are removed, then we can actually go on all through the night too. And there is quite a sizable chunk of people who party out late at night and come and still have something to eat and something desserts to finish off here. Right?
So in a 400 to 500 square feet store format, we have the potential to deliver a capacity of 50,000 rupees a day in terms of average sales. The potential is there, so the market is there. If the timing is right, we can deliver up to 50,000 as an average sales number for the day.
Yeah, thanks from my team.
Okay. Hi, Gomati. This is Shaktivel here from Chennai. In terms of recruitment of manpower, how many people would we need for the store? And do we support in recruitment and training?
So in terms of manpower, if you take a 400 to 500 square feet store, based on the shifts that we have, we don't work our staff more than 8 hours per shift. You need 5 people, which includes a store in charge and 4 staff. So that is what is typically needed to run a store well without exhausting the staff, and giving them a day off per week is what we give them, right? So that's as per the labor law, 1 day off per week is what they're entitled to. And they work 8-hour shifts. So if you're running a store between 12 noon to 11, they typically come in at 11 as the first shift and leave it around 7:38, and the second shift comes around 2:33 and they leave stay till the closing. So 5 people is what is needed. In a kiosk format, you can get away with 4 people as long as the timing of operation is not changing. Some of the kiosks potentially can open 24 hours a day based on the location. So obviously when you're running 24 hours, you will need more people, but on average 5 people is what we recommend for store.
Do we support in recruitment of manpower, or it's the franchisee who needs to recruit manpower?
Yes, we can support. We have tied up with a couple of agencies. So far, we have seen some good success. I'd like to say that bringing staff, we 100% commit and guarantee training at whatever stages, initial training, refresher training, we're fully committed. We are not accountable for bringing staff, but yes, we can definitely support and assist. We have done that before and we have the capability to do that, but I would like to reiterate that the accountability of bringing staff still lies on the franchisee.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to you, Neha.
Thank you, Shakti. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Ms. Gomati, Mr. Prabhakar, for joining in. Any last closing remarks you want to mention, to any message you want to convey to the participants who are watching your live?
The only thing I want to say is it's really an exciting space to be in. So people who are here, you have questions, do feel free to reach out to us. We can take discussions forward. To me, this is really a revolution in the beverages market, and people who are interested in foods and beverages should not miss this opportunity. And in this space, I can't think of a better brand than Dr. Bubbles for you to partner with. You will not be disappointed. And we are there to support you end to end to deliver a successful business for you. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to come and listen to us. Hopefully, we can take this relationship forward.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Gomati. Thank you so much, Mr. Prabhakar, for your time. Thanks, everyone, all the panelists. Guys, I'm sure the brand details which we have shared with you in today's webinar are going to help you in understanding the brand in detail and brief. But if still you want to have any further discussion about the brand, you can reach out to us at our hotline number, which is 9717683838. You can write us at feedback@franchiseindia.in. Also, our team is going to come back to you within a day or two to take the communication further. Tomorrow, again, we are coming up with a new business opportunity for all of you with the Vimal Diamonds. They are a diamond jewelry retail store franchisee provider. They have a legacy of 25 plus years with 100% authentic jewelries. To know more detail about this brand, I have already shared the registration link into the chat window. You can click on that link and you can get yourself registered in advance and join us tomorrow at sharp 8 p.m. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you so much.
Also, I hope you will have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Neha.